You see pictographic representations every day in road and traffic signs, in advertising, on the street, even sometimes in crops. They're fantastic for communicating simple concepts and quite often transcend language barriers, allowing for communication to a wider variety of people than any single language. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, pictures on signs aren't typography. Well, try telling that to the ancient Egyptians. They were actually pretty big fans of pictographic representation, and as far as written language goes, it's how they documented their recorded history. You know this form of writing as hieroglyphs. So, strap on your pharaoh chin thingy and let's take a trip back 4,000 or so years to the time of the ancient Egyptians. Way back in 2400 BCE, before the Romans had Times New, the Egyptians had hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs is Greek for sacred writing or sacred carving, and its common use reflected this. Hieroglyphs were commonly carved into the walls of temples and tombs as a way of documenting the life of the currently life-deprived inhabitant, as well as spells for protection in the afterlife. Hieroglyphs were also carved into wood and imprinted onto papyrus. It wasn't all doom and gloom temple carving. Hieroglyphs were employed for many more uses, such as the documentation of harvest stocks held in storage, medical procedures, tax records, proceedings in court, legal wills and contracts. And who are the custodians of this written form? Scribes. The occupation of the scribe was one of high significance within Egyptian society, due to the difficulty of mastering the written language, coupled with the importance of actually having a system for recording and documentation. A scribe's toolkit consisted of a wooden palette, brushes and reed pens, and a few rolls of papyrus. The brushes were made from a thin-stemmed reed, the end of which was hammered until it became soft and frayed, which was then trimmed. The brushes used by the scribes gave the glyphs a non-uniform stroke, resulting in a calligraphic-style typeface. Let's break down the structure of a hieroglyphic sentence. Firstly, the initial symbol in the word served as a phonogram, which suggests the correct pronunciation of the word. This character is symbolic, the meaning of which has to be learned, as links to its form and the thing it represents is arbitrary. The second section of the word is a pictogram, an iconic or literal representation of the thing to which the word refers to. The third and last section of a word is the determinative, which is another iconic representation of literal objects and helps with the correct interpretation of the word as a whole. Let's look at an example. If I wanted to write, the crocodile dances in front of the woman, what does hieroglyphs have to do with us? Well, the technique and physical aesthetics of chiseling into stone, as the Egyptians did with their walls of their temples and tombs, has translated into many modern typefaces. Slab serif types such as Rockwell, Courier, and Egyptine, are all characterized by thick, block-like serif similar to that of a set of glyphs chiseled into stones. But, seeing as it wasn't just stone that the Egyptian scribe used as a medium, what else did they give us? Well, their ink and brushwork upon papyrus has given us the font type papyrus, characterized by more curved, flowing lines and longer serifs. Multicultural society today has become more reliant on visual iconic cues and signs rather than the written word. Road signs need to be as simple and accessible to as many people as possible. It is the iconic signs in Egyptian hieroglyphs that separate it from other languages, featuring an exclusively phonetic alphabet. Professional designers might not be creating iconic signs like this every day, but you can be sure as hell that they use them every day. Take, for example, the InDesign interface. Things like the eyedropper tool, the magnifying glass, and the pencil tool are all examples of iconic signs, literal representations of real-world physical objects. So there you go, hieroglyphs. They're pretty cool.